In the previous episode, after paddling through a large lowland and then tackling some fun rapids, we finally end up camping on White Lake. Despite covering the relatively unknown upper stretch of the White River, now we had to contend with the unknown nature of the dams to come. We awoke to another gray day with cloud cover and wondered if rain was coming. But surprisingly it cleared and eventually turned out to be a beautiful day. But you know the routine. First things first. Coffee. Then breakfast.
That's okay.
So this is our egg, bacon, salsa wrap for breakfast.
We quietly enjoyed the view from camp as we broke our fast. Then it was time to get packed up. We really didn't want to leave this great sight, so we purposely dragged our feet that morning.
Good morning. It is day, is it 6? 5?
Day 6.
I can't remember, day 6. Today's gonna be full of rapids. It's gonna be another fun day. So we got about 5 kilometers to paddle to get out of this lake, and then we start in a series of swifts, rapids, and even falls. So it should be a really fun day. Today we're starting really late just because we're so ahead of the game now. We're just going to take our time. We only want to cover about 20k, no more than 20k today, even though we've been doing like 30 plus in the last 3 days. But it's good that we're ahead, so that now we know we can kind of pull back and relax and enjoy the rest of the trip. And this part, as it goes down towards Lake Superior, is going to be a lot more dramatic. There's going to be a lot more falls and big rapids. So we're looking forward to seeing all that, and it's great that today has turned out to be a beautiful day. So we're looking forward to fun in the sun today.
But before we left camp, Ben had something for me and wanted to film it.
I got a big boo-boo on Tarpon Rapids when we dumped, and it's in a bad spot, and so we got to keep it covered while we're grabbing the paddle. So Ben saved me a Band-Aid, and this is what he has for me. Is it Cinderella?
I think it's Cinderella.
You saved this purposely for me, didn't you, Jack?
I wanted to get you a nice Band-Aid.
So now this is what I have to wear today.
I removed the scene where I tackled him and gave him a wedgie in return. You don't really want to see that.
Okay, it is day 6. We're starting at the latest time, 11 o'clock.
Is it 11?
It's 5 to 11.
I always round down. We started at 10.
There's my partner for you. Do you round down rapid classification?
No, I round up. I also round up our stop time at the end of the day. So if we finish at 5:02 p.m.,
yeah,
we paddle till 6.
All right. So you can see we got a little problem with the numbers here, but that's okay. It's a glorious day to be up in Northern Ontario. Let's see what the rapids present today for us. I wonder if that's what we heard.
Yeah, I think so.
It's got to be on the tracks, right?
Yeah.
So we are approaching the White Lake Dam, and there are signs on either side to warn people. I guess there is some fast water. We know there is below it, but anyhow, we'll find out soon enough. The weird thing is we don't really hear very much. No fishing, no swimming, no boating.
It actually doesn't say no canoeing.
Okay, so just want to give you an update. Based on the map, we saw that sign.
I will relay what I was saying as it got too windy. The original dam was now gone, based on its position on the map and noting some evidence of its remains as we passed by. We suspected another dam was built further along, but at this point we had no clue as to where it was.
Even just paddling in this area, there's a lot of stumps that we can see in the water, and you can see the shoreline has a lot of cut trees on it. So, well, I mean, this map was made in, was it 2002? So that's like 18 years ago, and things have definitely changed since then. So this is interesting to note.
So you think these have been cut since that map was written?
Yeah.
Because they probably raised this level.
Yep.
Yep. I think that makes a lot of sense.
There's a bunch of rapids that we should be running at this point that was right after the dam, and of course it's all underneath us, it's flooded. So the first set of rapids don't even exist. So we're gonna wait till the next one, which is Kapak Rapids.
Well, we have to wait to see where the dam is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It might be even further down. That might even be eliminated, so we'll see. So this is the new flooded section, and we've missed out on the first set of rapids below the dam. So yeah, you're probably right. That's probably why they didn't want people going through here. There's so much work being done, not just on Bada Falls, everywhere else. But I wonder if anyone knew this.
I don't know.
Because everyone, from what I heard, only thought it was the Bada Falls. And the question is, why did it last? So we're just paddling through a narrows. This would be the Abitibi Rapids, but as you can see, there are no rapids. It's just flat water paddling. But beyond Bend, we finally are coming upon the dam. So there's buoys there to block off people from getting through. So we're gonna have to figure where to get through to portage around this dam, and to see what remains of the river below it. We have no idea based on how much water is being let out and what kind of rapids will still exist or new ones be created. I'm not sure. Now, so we'll figure this one out and see how the rest of the trip goes. It's certainly not anything like we expected, that's for sure. So here's the dam. You see it's all pretty new. We're gonna head over to the right side. There's a bunch of signs. There might be some indication as to how to get around this dam.
I'm trying to see the best place to stop.
So there's a portage sign right over there. And there's actual big sign that says portage route. The carrying of a boat or its cargo between two navigable water.
That would be where the actual takeout would be.
Yeah, just flow.
Maybe we'll try this over here.
Yeah. So here we are at the dam. We're just gonna quickly check it out, find out where the portage route is.
It says no access.
No? Oh, there's a portage sign over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says don't go that way.
Okay.
Lots of raspberries.
Might as well enjoy some raspberries along the way. Let me. Hey, I mean.
So,
Came from there. Here's the new dam. It's diverted through this channel, which doesn't look like there's a lot of water coming through there. And that's it.
no, that's just an overflow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the main water goes to the station.
Is it?
That's
oh,
what's
to
generating
generate
water and comes out over there somewhere.
Okay. So, starting this first portage around this hydro dam. As you can see, they put some nice signs. I'm not sure if this is from the hydro company or it's from the rangers that cleared the trails just before we began our trip. But looks pretty clear. It looks like the conditions are pretty good, so let's see how long this goes. We have no idea how long this portage is because this is all new. So here's the end of the portage, a wide bay. There's a hydro installation, but there's a campsite sign here, so the rangers might have established a camp right here. But the trail does get a little rough at the end. It's just overgrown. If you go in here, it gets pretty rough, which is kind of funny because most of the trail was actually in pretty decent shape and was cut out, but this part is pretty thick. But otherwise, it was pretty easy to follow. All right, we're going back for the canoe for the rest of the gear because they did a lot of clearing this area. There's a lot of raspberry bush. I found a mother load of raspberries. So I'm gonna enjoy a little bit of the fruits of my labor. So sweet. Wow. I could pick a few more before I portage the last load. So good.
On my way back for the second load, I checked out what the portage was bypassing. This is what remained of the original river and rapid.
That's probably what's left over of Fearless Rapids.
Now it was time to haul the big boy and the rest of the gear.
This is a beast of a canoe to portage. There he goes. While I was doing the portage, I got a hitchhiker on my shirt. Check him out. Orange fuzzy little caterpillar. I don't know if he's dangerous, but probably don't want him on me. Probably doesn't want to follow. So let him go in the bush here. Here you go, buddy. Might prefer a leaf. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the ride.
Back in the canoe, we continued down the river, wondering what the rapids downstream of this dam would be like. However, it was nothing like what we imagined.
Okay, we've paddled a little bit down the river, and we just passed Shotgun Creek, and there's supposed to be swift like right here. As you can see, there is nothing. And further down, there's supposed to be a rapid, Shotgun Rapid, and as you can clearly see, it's pretty much smooth. So I don't know, our prospects are not looking really good on this river so far. And according to Ben, I didn't know this, but he said that there was multiple dams on this river. If that's the case, this river might go from an interesting trip to a pretty unsatisfactory and disappointing trip. The one thing you can kind of see on the riverbank is that a lot of these trees, cedars, have been cut. I don't know whether it was in anticipation of, well, most likely because of the dams, and probably because when it was flooding, they didn't want the trees to fall into the river and most likely cause log jams down on dams further down. Because there's no fish. So when Ben said to put in the Spot X report yesterday that today things will get interesting, I think he was pretty dead on correct there. We just didn't expect it to be because there was no rapids. We certainly expecting to be running a lot of rapids today and having a lot of fun, but it's not exactly turning out that way. Nor is the fish biting. So we are coming upon Shotgun Rapid, which is not a rapid anymore.
Decided not to wear a helmet.
Yeah, it's merely a riffle.
Back ferry. You want to take the snake channel right next to that rock, just for fun?
Sure.
Oh, this is awesome! You can see this would be a rapid, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's the extent of the rapid. Really nothing. Okay, we're back into a wide expanse. Wider now because of the dam. And then we narrow back down, and eventually we'll come to another swift, which probably won't exist based on what we've already seen. And there's Jumbo Rapids, which may be a riffle or a swift. That's a good size. Ben just caught a awesome size walleye. Yeah. Looks like we're going to be eating fish for lunch. Okay, I'm gonna go get that.
Oh, dude. Okay, one more like that and...
Yeah, that's the dark blue one.
We decided to have the walleye for supper, so we continued on down the river. Jumbo Rapid, which was next, was also non-existent. The flooding was extensive, which was clear from all the destruction and damage we witnessed along the shore. The river here was silenced.
Okay, the paddling has not been too enjoyable. Like I mentioned before, all the rapids are pretty much gone. And we are now approaching a major falls. Chickagaunt Falls, I believe that's what it's called. It's got a 650-meter portage and it's a significant falls. But I think Ben has a good point. The water level here is high, there's no current, and quite frankly there might be another dam there that's holding this water back, and which will be a disappointment, of course. But we're about less than a kilometers to get to this falls. I'm being curious to see what it's going to be like. Okay, we're approaching around this bend Chickagaunt Falls, and the sad thing is we don't hear a single thing. I think we're going to be pretty disappointed. They said that a kayaker had died here when he got swept over the falls. And there's apparently a cross here. I don't know where. It could be underwater technically now. Just beyond Ben, through this narrow, is supposed to be the big falls. And there's barely a current. There's not even a sound of a ripple. Nope. That means this river is flooded very deep. This is...
You can tell it would have been going through this precipice with all that rock on the side.
Yeah.
Would have been a narrow constriction.
So in that narrow section would have been a sizable falls on its way down this way. And as you can see, it's pretty much just flat water. Comes through this way and it continues there. And if you look straight ahead, you might not be able to see, but there are some trees underwater there. But here, like you can see stumps underneath the water here. This is quite disappointing, to say the least. And kind of incredible, really, if you think about it, how deep this river is now. Did you get something? Ben just caught another walleye. I think we're going to have a great supper tonight. Nice job, Ben.
Thanks, buddy.
Now, Ben's filleting that walleye, and I threw my rod in, and look what I got. Another perch. Certainly not in the same category as Ben's walleye, but this guy's going back in the water.
It was disappointing for sure, and incredible to think a sizable falls had been swallowed up, evidenced by many dead trees along the shore and even ones underneath. So the question remained, how big and deep was this dam?
Okay, this is the outflow of the Chickagaunt Falls and still the White River. But as you can see, it's become a vast lake now. But you might not be able to see it, but there is the dam over there. And it's just flooded this whole area. It's become just one massive lake. And we just came from around that corner. Yeah, this has changed the dynamic of the river in a huge way. And it's certainly not the same river that it used to be. So we're headed over there, and we'll probably have to portage around this dam. And there's supposed to be another falls and multiple sets of rapids beyond that, but we're kind of suspecting it might not be much there as well.
You might want to land like just on all that driftwood.
So we've just come to the portage around the this dam, and another huge sign indicating what the portage actually is, which of course as canoeists we're all very familiar with, but in case we didn't know.
You know now.
Okay, so we just got off the canoe here, and
we went beside the sign, but there is no portage. We think now that because the size of the sign is probably indicating that the portage is probably somewhere over there. So we're gonna get back in the canoe and look for this portage. Trip is becoming more interesting as we go along. Disappointing in other ways, but oh well.
There's a blaze on that tree. Yeah.
Okay, we're not having very much luck. We paddled down the length of that section of the river, which is like a lake, and we did not find any portage signs. And so we decided to come back and walk up and over this dam to see if there's another way to get down. Ben went ahead, so I don't know where he is, but so there's a road here. We could probably follow the road down, and there is Ben. He's way up there. Wow. So the river continues down that way. So I really don't know why the portage is on this side. Ben, don't you think the portage would be on this side?
If you come here, you'll understand.
Okay. I guess I should go see. But you can see the river over there.
Yeah, so the water gets funneled through there into the power station and out that chasm they built.
We suspected the portage was somewhere further beyond, avoiding all the dam infrastructure, which would also bypass Angle Falls and the rapids below it. So we decided to head back and try to access the original river from the other side, as we really wanted to see what remained of the falls and rapids. It was clearly evident this dam was much bigger than the previous one, and much higher as well, which would explain why even Chicagon's Falls was silenced.
Probably.
Okay, so we are on the other side. We're just going to take this rough road, take the canoe down, and get access to the river that way. We were standing over there last time, and we did have to cross the buoy, and there's no problem. It was just dragging all the gear up this steep incline, which was the most difficult part. But anyhow, time to get back to the river. Okay, we found a sandy spot to put in to the river here. You see rapids right off the bat, and you can see all the work that's been done here to create this dam. And there is Ben on his way down. What a view here. It's incredible. Even if it's man-made. Whoa. So being that it was so late tonight, it was almost 7 o'clock by the time we had portage to the water, we realized we were running out of time in order to find a campsite. And considering what we've been seeing or not seeing in terms of campsites, because it got all flooded, we decided to make the decision to camp at our next craziest site on this trip. So we decided to camp below the retaining wall that's holding the water back. You can see the tent with Ben cooking supper there. So yeah, if the train tracks wasn't crazy enough, this will probably top that as being some of the most insane places that we've camped at on a canoe trip. Not just once on a canoe trip, but twice. I mean, look at the scenery. It's just absolutely just bizarre, but at the same time it's kind of mesmerizing just because it's massive rock. Anyhow, I'm just using this sign to filter our water because there's no trees near us. Mind you, I could have went to the trees over there, but I'm utilizing this 2x6, so yeah, whatever works. So we made the best of our stark and barren campsite and settled down to have supper. So Ben did us a big favor by catching 2 walleye today, and he's cooking us some nice supper. What are we gonna eat the fish with?
Lemon pepper and then noodles.
Noodles? That looks delicious.
I think we're gonna be full.
All right, I think we're gonna be celebrating in a big way, considering we're camped in this
beautiful
dam
environment here.
complex.
This is so yummy. Plus we got lots of lemon. Oh man. Ooh, it's hot.
Yeah, man, you bring me and I deliver.
No doubt we ate well that night, as we relaxed and talked about all the unusual things that happened during the day. Nothing like how we expected or thought we experienced on this section of the river. Since we didn't have a campfire to sit around in the evening, we took the opportunity instead to walk around the dam and marvel at the engineering and work needed to build this massive installation. It was disappointing for sure to see the river and landscape scarred by this dam, nor do we understand the reasoning behind it, especially through a park. But the work was done, it wasn't going anywhere, and more importantly, it would now be a part of the White River. Today's travel on the river was significantly impacted by the dams, so what would it be like below it? There was only one way to find out, and we would no doubt find out tomorrow.
Or else you go hit the tongue.
The tongue could swallow us.
We finally hooked on to the first pike of the trip.
Inaugural pike. Whoa!
There's a good chance of dumping. The only good thing is that if we do dump, it's pretty safe. This part is crucial. If you miss that, you're going down that big chute falls. We're gonna have a problem because this won't fit in the fry pan.
We've got our odds worked out, right? So what are the odds?
10% chance of dumping,
Yeah.
but if we dump, 90% chance of
death.
death.
Yeah.